Eric Burgess here with Music Marketing TV, and today we're taking a look at Beatformer by Accusonus. I have here this beat completely unmixed. Here's what it sounds like. So pretty interesting. There's a part over here where I sort of turn it around and chop it up quite a bit. So I really like where it's going. Things are, of course, a smidge loud. Actually, they're way too loud. We'll deal with that later, though. What we're going to do is we're just going to use Beatformer to make the drums more interesting throughout. And in fact, let's go ahead, let's turn all the faders down and begin to dial in a kind of a mix. All right, so I've got things at a more reasonable level. Should probably save that. Now, let's go ahead. Let's begin to mess with the Beatformer. So Beatformer gives us some options, but in general, they give you these 4 words that sort of inform you on what they do, and they give you the ability to do some band splitting stuff as well. They also have some saturation and some other cool things if you want to drive Beatformer a bit hard. So the one we're going to look at is I think it'd be cool to go from like this tight sort of sound, because it's already a pretty tight sound, and move between this boominess, sort of bring that in. And let me just show you the boominess. Now we could select a note, and I believe I'm in C, so I'm just going to put that on C. So you can hear the low end come right up. That's so dang cool. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's automate this stuff. So in FL, you go to Browse Parameters. You move the thing in case you didn't select it. And you left click and select Create an Automation Clip, or just left click and hit A. So we're going to start off with it off. And I'm going to bring it up. Let's go like bring it up like over here-ish. And then we will phase it out through this turnover right here. So let's just hear that starting from right here. I forgot to route the bass. Okay, I really like where this is going. Maybe not that insane. Maybe not that much right there. I think we could actually bring it up and then bring it down. Hey, so you're right there. So we're going to bring that down. Okay, so let's grab that automation clip and lower this just a smidge and have it come back down. I like the flavor it adds right there. I'm going to keep it around there until the end, because we have this turnaround at the end where you have that, and then... So there we go. I really dig that. I think right there we have some room to do things. So the next thing I think that would be pretty cool to mess with is the squash and the punch. So the squash is really useful for getting really, really like short textures and really long ones. So let me go ahead, just play it over here with the boom off. Like that's pretty dang impressive. We squash the other way. Then there's also punch, and I think the best way is just to demonstrate it. So here it is. So it can be seen sort of as just a transient shaper, and then we have the ability to create a band split. And if we do that with the squash, we can hear it doing what it likes to do really well. So let's go ahead, let's create some automation clips for these guys. We're going to go to Browse Parameters, Squash, please. We're going to mess with that. We're also going to mess with Browse Parameters with Punch, please. Okay. So we have those. I don't think I'm going to mess with air that much in this particular thing, but air is basically like an EQ. There's more to it. Behind every single one of these things has like under the hood stuff going on that makes it respond dynamically to the drum loop. So to say it's just an EQ is quite an understatement. but definitely give it a look. These are just the ways I like to think about them so that I can make creative decisions without worrying about like all these technical details. I'm like, works like an EQ, has a lot, is like a really, really fancy EQ. That's how I kind of view it. So let's go ahead and dive into here. And I think we should bring the squash down at the beginning. And then I think it would be really cool to bring it up with the boom, maybe like right here, and bring it back down. This could be a bad idea. I don't know. Let's give it a listen. At the beginning, I also think we should have the punch up. And so the punch, basically, we're going to get more transients. And then when we pull it down, we'll get less. I'm not really interested in going to the less category. So I'm probably just going to bring it back down to where it was. But I definitely don't want to take away from it. So here we go. All right. I really like this so far. All right, now let's turn on everything. Let's begin to bring things in. So that is Beatformer. Let me know if you have any questions. I mean, to set some of these chains up like manually it's just so much extra work. So it's really, really cool to have a plugin that streamlines it and also responds dynamically so quickly to your loops. Subscribe, hit the bell icon for future videos, and have a blessed day.